I started my day with a light sandwich, feeling a mix of excitement and anticipation as I grabbed my flight bag and headed to work. Today was the day I had been eagerly waiting for, my first flight as a co-pilot. Arriving at the company, I met with the captain and completed our briefing. We discussed the flight plan and potential scenarios we might encounter. The captain, with a reassuring smile, mentioned to the crew that it was my first flight, which only heightened my sense of responsibility. After the briefing, the cabin crew and I boarded the company vehicle and headed to the airport. As we passed through the crew entrance and completed our check-in, I could feel the eyes of passengers and airport staff on us. The weight of the moment was palpable. This was what I had worked so hard for. With coffee in hand, we waited for our boarding time. I reflected on all the training and preparation that had led me to this day. Soon enough, we were on the plane, making the final checks before takeoff. My heart raced as we waited for clearance from the tower. The mixture of tension and excitement was almost overwhelming. Finally, the clearance came. The captain slowly taxied the plane onto the runway, and as the engines roared to life, I performed my duties, checking the engine status and external conditions while raising the landing gear. We were airborne, and everything seemed to be going smoothly. Then, out of nowhere, there was a sudden jolt. A bird strike hit the front windshield, and the captain shouted that the right engine had failed. Alarms blared in the cockpit, and everything seemed to happen in slow motion. My mind raced with thoughts on how to handle the emergency. Years of training and simulations flashed before me, but the reality of the situation was far more intense. The experienced first officer sitting behind me quickly issued commands, but I could feel the plane losing stability. The captain struggled with the controls, and the warning alarms grew louder and more insistent. In that moment, my life seemed to flash before my eyes, memories of training sessions, moments with loved ones, and everything that had led me to this cockpit. I knew I had to act, to use every ounce of training and instinct to help us through this crisis. The flight was a test of everything I had learned, and I couldn't afford to let my guard down for even a second. As the plane continued to tremble, and the alarms blared, I was fully immersed in the reality of being a pilot. However, my body wouldn't move as I wanted, and the plane was gradually plummeting towards the ground. And I was paralyzed with fear and couldn't do anything.